The two women were startled at the sight of Richard, both confused and wondering if he had heard their conversation.
I heard you both. Pat, why? For how long were you going to hide my child away from me? Dami, why? So you and Landray knew all along and yet kept it from me?
Richard, please leave the Bakers out of this. Dami kept it from you and Landray because I asked her to, and she was only respecting my wish.
Dami excused them to talk and went over to meet her husband to break the news to him.
Pat, for good 7 years? Why? I know I hurt you, and from the bottom of my heart, I'm truly sorry. Leaving you was and still is my biggest regret, worst mistake, and am currently facing the consequences of that action. But you hiding my child away from me? No, that is extreme.
Richard, did I hear you say extreme? What exactly did you expect me to do? Extreme is you jilting on me, getting married to my so-called best friend who was already pregnant for you at the time. Richard, I loved you body, mind, and soul. You betrayed me. So of what good would the news of my pregnancy been to you? Why would you even want the child of the woman you dumped?
Pat, I'm truly sorry for the hurt, pain, betrayal, and even embarrassment I put you through. Please find a place in your heart to forgive me.
It's fine. I picked up the pieces of me you had shattered, made peace with my situation at the time, and I got through it. It's been 7 years already, and I'm fine now. We are fine.
Landray was still trying to process the news his wife just broke to him when a sassy-looking woman walked in with a box of gifts.
Hello, family. Happy anniversary, guys.
I couldn't miss your anniversary for anything in the world. She walked up to the Bakers, hugged them, and presented the gift to them. A short while later, Pat and Richard emerged from the kitchen and saw Janet with the Bakers. At the sight of Richard and Pat, Janet flared up and even advanced toward him for a physical altercation.
Richard, so you couldn't even wait for our marriage to be formally over before hopping back to your ex? I always knew you weren't completely over her.
Dami apologizing for Janet's poor behavior. Back home, just before she slept later in the night, Pat received a call from a strange number. Richard had called to apologize for Janet's tantrum earlier at the Bakers.
During that call, somehow, the two were able to talk things out like adults. He commended her for the great work raising Richie single-handedly since he was born. He then pleaded to be a part of his life so that he can have a balanced life with both parents active and also to make up for the years he missed in his life. Pat agreed and even invited him over for lunch the following day.
The following morning, the delivery man brought 2 gift boxes, one for her.
Thank you, Pat, for the gift of Richie, our son. Merry Christmas.
And the other for Richie.
Merry Christmas, my sunshine. Love from Daddy.
Seeing his gift and reading the short note, Richie was super excited, curious at the same time to know who his father was. Pat assured him he would meet him soon. Prior to Richard's arrival early that afternoon, Pat was in the kitchen preparing the typical Nigerian jollof rice and fried turkey. Richard arrived with a bottle of wine and fruit juice just before lunchtime. If someone had told Pat that such a day would come, where she would let go of the hurt and pain, she would argue that such would never happen, even in 1,000 years to come. She served them the sumptuous lunch she prepared, and during that time she made the introduction of the father and son. After which she allowed them have their moment. It was quite an emotional sight for her, seeing the excitement in their eyes. The bonding between Richard and Richie was automatic, that anyone who saw them would not believe they only just got introduced to each other. Much later in the afternoon, while Richie was observing siesta, Pat and Richard sat on the couch, sipping wine while watching a Christmas movie on TV.
Thank you for allowing me into Richie's life. This means a whole lot to me. This year has been a roller coaster of series of events, but this is the highlight of the year, and I'm indebted to you for this. From the moment I first saw Richie, I was reminded of my younger self. One minute, I was angry and disappointed that the son I raised wasn't mine all along. And the next minute, God brings my own biological child to me. Thank you, Pat. You have no idea what this means to me.
You're welcome. And speak of Richie, if you have any doubt about him being yours, please feel free to conduct a DNA test. I just have to put that out.
They spent the next few minutes discussing Richie, his likes and dislikes, and how they would co-parent successfully moving forward. By the time he left later that evening after dinner, Pat felt like a heavy load was lifted from the depth of her heart. The power of forgiveness, she felt light. She had freed her mind and let go of every hurt and grudges she harbored for the past 7 years. That was the best Christmas gift she could ever give herself.